An episode featuring a kappa. Huh. Interesting that Precure would dare an episode about a type of yokai on the same day that the new Gege no Kitaro premiered. Japanese kids could actually get double the fix of their folklore's apparitions. They could watch this episode and then switch over to Kitaro where people turn into trees. Japanese kids are way too desensitized. After a brilliant introduction by Hagutan that perfectly summarized all of the events of the previous episodes, we began this week's episode of Laid Back Camp, Haguto, with the team going on a little hiking trip. However, before they can even enter the hiking range, they encounter a strange little girl named Emiru Aisaki, who apparently saves Hana from tripping on a very tiny little pebble. Who's this girl, the safety queen?
Everyone, panic! Listen carefully.
Why is it that I can remember obscure Nickelodeon shorts and yet can't remember a single formula from calculus? Yeah, obviously the Precure are taken aback by this safety-obsessed little kid, and oh my god, Saya's doing that dead expression again. Okay, I'm convinced. This girl is my spirit animal. By the way, yes, I've heard the rumors of what sort of role this character might play in the future, but let's not bring it up here. There are people out there who don't want to be spoiled. Anyway, Emiru turns out to be a classmate of Hana's younger sister who was with her and the rest of their class on a field trip. But as we've seen from this mini Ronko, she is kind of OC when it comes to the whole safety thing, to the point that she stuffed her hiking bag with a lot of junk. Now to be fair, some of it was necessary like medicine and rope, but then... Where would you even buy a parachute from? Do they sell them at Walmart and I've just never noticed? Anyway, while on their little hike, Hana tries to take a snack break by pulling out a banana, only to pull out a cucumber instead. Geez, even if you're not a morning person, how could you make such an obvious mistake? Now if you'll excuse me, I need to take a drink of water. But yeah, this is where the kappa thing I mentioned comes into play, as legend has it, cucumbers are their favorite food. This leads into some really senseless slapstick. Seriously, I know Hana's not the brightest, but why does she suddenly treat the elementary school girl like a football? That's reserved for Kanade and Hibiki. Also, Purple happens to be in the area and somehow interprets Hana's cucumber hitting her as good luck. I don't exactly follow this woman's logic, but I guess it could have been worse. Back with the hiking group, they come across an old bridge, which of course Emiru tries to confirm whether or not it's safe. It's too easy of a joke, but I just can't resist the temptation. But yeah, as it turns out, Emiru was totally right to be cautious of the bridge, as well as a little cactus flower later. It's an aspect of this episode that I actually kind of like. All too often in Precure, the focused civilian character, who in some ways set off the conflict of the episode, gets some form of redemption by the end of the episode, even when they're almost completely in the wrong. While Emiru certainly isn't in the right, especially based off of her past actions, she's at least shown not to be vindictive and even hits the mark sometimes. This episode achieves a pretty good balance of presenting Emiru as a sympathetic character who does deserve recognition for her good deeds, but doesn't over-glorify her as she at least acknowledges her mistakes. Anyway, back to the plot at hand. After accidentally falling down a giant hole in the middle of the woods, seriously, what was that doing there? Hana, Emiru, and Hagutan are trapped, sending the baby into a crying fit due to a lack of food. Emiru manages to calm her down with a song where her actress just drops sounding like a 6th grader altogether. They're rescued just in time as Purple managed to channel the arguments of a group of fighting monkeys into an Oshimaida. Yeah, this isn't the first time we've seen animals become victims of the weak, so it's not that much of a surprise. Though I will say, it is a bit of a disappointment as we see the Oshimaida take on the form of a giant kappa. I mean, I get that Purple used Hana's cucumber as a conduit, but if they use an animal as a victim, you kind of expect a magic animal monster. Especially if it's a monkey. I mean, who out there doesn't want to see a giant monkey monster, am I right? Well, anyway, the fight itself is a total squash match with the Precure handily defeating it with admittedly a good chain of attacks, Just hoping next week they shake things up a little bit. In any case, the episode ends with the aforementioned redemption for Emu, Hana getting a new kohai, and then actual Kappa appearing for no real reason. Is that the same one Wolfern met?
Huh?
Well, anyway, about the episode, I'll withhold my verdict on it, depending on what they do with Emu from here on out. Looking at the episode just by itself, it's nothing really that special. The humor was so-so outside of some good comebacks from Homari. Some of the conflict felt forced, and Hana was acting a tad bit too goofy at times, though her interactions with Emu were pretty good. Which, speaking of which, I did like what they did with Emu. While I won't say she's all that fleshed out or even a completely likable character just yet, there is a good basis for a great character arc here. It's obvious she's at least going to be a recurring side character, if not more if certain rumors are to be believed. If they do more with her, then that actually might make this episode retroactively better. As is though, it's an okay episode, but there could be more. Again, where's my monkey monster? Also, sorry for the late upload. As I said last week, I went to my sister's wedding as the best man. I had a great time and even got some nice party favors. See, it's a little flashlight. Well, anyway, I'll be back to my regular schedule of uploading videos soon enough. And until then though, farewell for now my friends, and I think I need to go wash this tongue.